Welcome to Gayle Jann Yoga. This class is about courage. Courage to face your fears, courage to be yourself, courage to stand up for yourself and others, and courage to find your own way. In the words of Thucydides, the secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. Start in a comfortable seated position. You can always sit on a blanket here or a block, depending on the tightness of your hips or how comfortable it is for you to sit. But you want to be sitting upright. So instead of slouching or overarching, you want to have a nice comfortable position. Close your eyes and focus on your breath, moving in and out. So in order to have courage, we need to be somewhat clear about our intention to face whatever it is that's making us fearful. And by calming our breath, focusing on the breath, it helps to calm our mind. So notice if your chest is moving and your belly is also moving. That would mean our breath is full, the diaphragm is moving up and down. So if you find you're more constricted in the breath, try and bring it in a little more fully without a whole lot of effort. See if you can feel the breath relaxing. And focus on the exhale, the letting go. This is a good time to set your intention, whatever that might be, to have patience, to be able to face your fears and not run away, to believe in yourself. And we'll just stay here about another half a minute. This is always a good thing to do when you're not sure about something, or you're reacting to something, or you're imagining something that you're afraid of, or even dealing with fear that's right in front of you. And then gently open your eyes. And as you inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, twist over to your right. Keep the chest nice and lifted. Inhale, reach up to center. And exhale, gently twist to the left, keeping the heart lifted, no collapsing. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist. Inhale, open up. And exhale, twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float your right arm down and lift up. Keep the chest lifting as you stretch over to the right. Inhale, back to center. And stretch to the left, keeping the heart open. Again, not collapsing, but keeping the heart open, because the courage requires being brave in our hearts. Being willing to love, to be loved, to take that risk of being hurt. And that's a pretty powerful risk for a lot of people. So come on back to center, and then we'll come onto our hands and knees and come right away into child's pose. So you can bring your big toe mounds together, sit back on your heels if that's possible, and stretch forward. Let your forehead rest on the floor, or you could support your head with a block if that would be more comfortable for you. And just let your back relax, let your body relax. Again, working on that process of letting go and softening, letting go of the tightness and stress and tension that you may have been feeling, especially if you are facing something that's fearful. And letting your body calm down, letting your mind calm down. On your next inhale, lift up to cat pose and exhale back to child's pose. So inhale, round up, keeping the back full, then exhale, open your heart and stretch back. Inhale, lift up, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch back. And then we'll come forward onto our bellies. We'll work on some back strengthening. So point your toes, relax your shoulders, and inhale, reach your right arm and left leg up together. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. And keep alternating sides. Feeling that deep core engagement, feeling the back working. And just keeping a steady rhythm with your breath. And this time we'll reach both arms and legs up together. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Reach your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Roll the shoulders open to expose your heart. And reach back with your hands. Hug in with your legs. Gaze is forward. Good. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands by your sides, just fingertips just below the shoulders. Press your feet into the mat. Curl up into your cobra. So it's not pushing up, the shoulders up, it's pulling the shoulders back, reaching your heart forward, getting into the back body. Exhale, lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. So squeeze the elbows towards each other, press into your feet. Inhale, curl your heart forward and up. Exhale, lower down. You don't want to be feeling any pain in your low back. So if you're just pushing with your arms, you'll probably crunch the low back. So it's a lot of drawing the belly toward the spine, squeezing the elbows in, activating the rhomboids, lifting up. And then exhale lower, we're going to come into down dog. So tuck your toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time here. Stretching out your hamstrings, your calves. And come back onto your belly, onto your knees, sorry. Then stretch your right leg back and reach your foot over to the side, look over your shoulder and press out through your heel. Inhale back to center and switch sides. So hopefully getting a stretch into the lower calf muscle. Inhale back to center, lower your hips back to your heels. Stretch your hands forward, coming into puppy pose. Let the chest relax toward the floor. And inhale, round up. Bring your thighs forward and down, shoulders back and down. Let your chest come forward. Lower onto your forearms. Bring your right hand across your body. Bend your left knee and we'll work on those quads a little bit. So hold the top of your foot, or maybe you can rotate the hand. Keep the belly lifting. Stretch your heel away from your hip. And just do a little bit of quad stretching, releasing some of the stretch. And just testing your edge a little bit. And we'll switch sides. So pull the right foot in, hold your foot. You can have your fingers facing towards your ankles and your knee. So depending on your flexibility, this may be where you want to stay. Or some of you may be able to rotate the hands. So push down with your foot to stretch the quad and relax it. This is one of the easier quad stretches. It may not feel like that to you, but this one is usually more accessible. You can always use a strap around your ankle. I'd release your foot, tuck your toes, and press back. Downward facing dog. Again, we'll just work stretching out the hamstrings a little bit more, keeping the belly lifted. Core is always supporting whatever we do. And come up onto your tiptoes, walk your feet forward. Lower the heels down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Stretch out through your spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, bow. Bow to your true self, your inner self, that part of you that's going to ultimately give you the courage to face obstacles of any kind. Press into the earth, inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes here. Just take a few moments to be with your breath. Then inhale, sweep the arms wide. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back to plank. You're welcome to go through a vinyasa, through chaturanga, and cobra if you want. So we're just going to hold here for a bit. So keeping the body engaged and strong will help us with courage. Courage takes strength. And bend your knees, stretch back. Down dog. So we're going to come forward to plank again, and this time we're going to hold plank for 30 seconds. So inhale, round forward. Keep the belly lifting. Keep pressing down through your hands. I was going to put a timer on, but I'm just going to kind of count, guesstimate. So it should be long enough where you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So keep the belly lifting. Press back through your toes, forward through your hands. Hug the midline. Keep noticing your breath. The breath should be calm and steady and even. If you need to come down earlier or place your knees down, that's fine. We'll just stay 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees, stretch back to child's pose. Let yourself rest here. So having courage and acting with courage isn't always easy. Sometimes we have to go to those uncomfortable places to truly be free. So we're going to do another core exercise, forearm plank. And again, we're going to try and hold that for 30 seconds, more or less. So tuck your toes, draw the ribs in, belly lifting, press into your hands. You can always keep the knees down. Let's stretch forward through your heart, back through your toes, forward through your hands. Try and soften the neck as much as you can, and a little slight lengthening of the tailbone. So not a full tuck, but let's say a little tuck. The ribs, front ribs should be drawing inward. And this might be a little harder than normal because we just worked on plank. I know I'm shaking a little bit. So we'll just stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest in child's pose. One last time. Keep the arms stretching forward. Relax your belly. Tuck your toes, press back, down dog. So we're going to work on the warrior poses, warrior 1, 2, and 3. When we think of courage, think of warriors going into battle. So we don't have, most likely you don't have a big war to go into, but it might be a little battle of your own. It might be a battle within yourself. You come up onto your tiptoes, walk your feet forward. Lower the heels down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back to plank. Bend your knees, downward facing dog. So we're going to come into crescent lunge. That means the back heel, the heel of the back leg will be lifted. So inhale, reach your right leg up. Come up high onto your toes, hug your knee to your chest and step your foot forward. Take time to make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Press into both feet. Inhale, rise up. And use your breath to lift your heart up. So core is active. Heart is lifting. Gaze maybe upward. And exhale with control, bring your hands back down and step back, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, hug the knee in, step it all the way forward. Keep the back heel lifted, squeeze the inner thighs, push into your feet, draw the belly back, open your heart up. Chest lifts, gaze lifts, perhaps. Keep the core active. And exhale, hands back down, step back, down dog. Now look towards your hands and you can either walk forward or if you want to hop forward, bend your knees and hop forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Push into the earth to rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift and lengthen through your spine, keeping those ribs drawing in. Exhale, palms to the floor, step back to plank. Bend your knees, slide your hips way back to down dog. And this time we're gonna do warrior one. A little variation, very similar to crescent lunge, but the back heel will be down. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, pull your knee to your chest, step your foot forward. Now this next part is very important, the orientation of the back foot. A lot of times I see people turning their foot almost all the way out at a 90-degree angle. That's too much. It's not going to work with the knee joint. If our hips are going forward and the knee is pointing back, it doesn't even make sense. So take your angle, make it a little bit less, anywhere between, I think between 15 and 30 degrees. So we're trying to keep the heel rooted and the inner arch lifted. And the front knee over our ankle. So that means pulling the right hip back, lifting up through the belly, pushing out through your heel, and then inhale, rise up. If you feel any torquing of your knee, you need to adjust the pose. Like either let your hips come a little bit off of square, or bring the toes a little more forward. So find what works for you. With the goal of having your hips as square to the front as possible, belly engaged, back heel down, inner arch lifting, chest reaching up, and you should feel a good stretch in the back of your calf. You can reach your arms up. And the pose never really ends, so we're always exploring all the different sensations, trying to square the hips, open up the heart, and then exhale, hands down, step back, down dog. So I think it's important to stay open to new ideas, and even if you've done something the same way for years and years and years, and you were even taught that way, try and experiment, see how it feels on your body. Now inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Pivot the back heel down. So you need to figure out just how open an angle you can have in that back foot, but press into, you can even like straighten the front leg initially to get into that back heel and keep it rooted down. Bring your knee forward, right over the ankle. Activate the back leg by pushing into the foot. Inhale, rise up. Try and square the hips as best you can, as still pushing into that back heel, still keeping the back arch lifted. And reach the arms up. Try and square your hips, square the shoulders as best you can. Reach your heart up toward the sky. And exhale, hands down, step back, down dog. Feel that warrior energy starting to seep in. Bend your knees and hop or step forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Push into the earth. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Bend your knees, stretch back, down dog. Warrior two, coming up. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. This time we do want to rotate the foot at a much more open angle, so close to 90 degrees, but favor the toes being a little bit forward rather than a little bit back. You wouldn't want to have your foot open like that. So again, root into all four corners of that front foot. And this time our hips are going to face the side more. So I'm bringing my front foot forward a little bit more. Bring your knee right over your ankle. Inhale, rise up. Try not to hike this back hip up too much. Just kind of play with your positioning that works for you. Make sure your front knee doesn't cave in. This is really important, and there's a tendency for the knee to cave in. So try and keep this knee pressing out and this hip joint moving back a little bit. Stretch your arms out. Gaze over your front fingertips. Keep pushing into that back foot. And then reach your hand down your back leg, and reach your arm up and over, reversing the warrior. And then we'll windmill the arms and step back. Down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step your foot forward. Rotate the back heel down. Take time to line up your 2 feet. So the front heel either lines up with the middle arch or with the back heel. Bring your knee right over your ankle, press into that back foot, lift up through the belly, arms up, warrior two. Let your shoulders relax down your back, pull your belly in and up. Check out the knee, make sure it's not caving in, and then reach through your fingertips. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. And windmill the arms. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Try and keep weight out of your hands. Keep the belly drawing in, bend your knees, hop or step forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Press into the earth, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Hardest one, I think, in some ways. Balancing on one leg is always challenging, but think of the planks that we did, the forearm plank and the full plank. And using that belly drawing in, that hugging in energy, the ribs drawing in to help you to balance. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back to plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. And then for this variation, we're going to bring our hands back as we bring our chest forward. So start to lean into your front foot. Start reaching your arms back, press into that front leg. Keep the back leg strong and lifted and engaged. Keep the shoulders lifting. See if you can hold here for a couple of breaths. And bend your knee, reach your foot back. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. So in some ways, I think warrior 3 might take the most courage. It can seem precarious balancing, but just bring your focus inward, trust everything that we've been working on, trust your own intuition and guidance, and then start to push into your front leg. Lift the back leg up. Keep the back leg super active. You can either flex your foot or point your toes. And then reach back. Inhale up, crescent lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. And just notice that you're feeling actually more energized since we've been going through this flow. And we're going to put it all together in one sun salutation. So bend your knees, hop forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bow. Press into the earth, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. And just take a moment here to visualize these three warriors. Noticing their similarities, their differences. Noticing that warrior energy that we've been tapping into. And notice if you just feel more like ready to face whatever comes your way. Open your eyes, inhale, reach up. Exhale, heart flows downward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow, plant your hands, step back to plank. Bend your knees, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, bring it forward. Bring the back heel down for warrior one. So about a 15 to 30 degree angle, maybe 40 degrees with your back foot. Squeeze the right glute in, lift up to your belly, press into the back foot. Gaze up. So the more you bring your knee a little forward and keep an inner rotation of this back thigh. So that means this back thigh lifting up, inner thigh lifting up. But it's still trying to rotate you, press the heel down. That's what the difficult part, the outer heel going down. Reach your gaze up toward the sky. And lift up on the back heel, open your foot. Take time to adjust your stance. Bend your front knee. Gaze over the fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, come forward. This time we're going to lift that back heel up. I'm going to hop it in a little bit and step into your front foot right away, coming into warrior 3. Keep the shoulders lifting. Keep the hips as square as possible, top leg strong. Bend your knee. Reach back lightly, coming back into crescent lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a little break, knowing that this first side has taught the other side. So the second side might feel a little better. If it's your weak side, it might feel about the same or not quite as steady, but let's go for it. So inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, hug your knee in. Step your foot forward. Back heel comes down. Square your hips as best you can. Press into your back foot. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 1. And just take time to really work the back foot. Like, where is your weight? Where is it centered? Can you even the weight as if you were taking a step on that foot? Can you square your shoulders and your hips as forward as you can? If they're off at an angle, that's fine. Then lift the back heel up, rotate the heel down, take a moment to adjust your feet. Open up, warrior 2. Take a few breaths to feel the pose, making any little micro adjustments that you might need. And inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. And come back to warrior 2. You're gonna reach the back arm forward. So I always get pretty wide for warrior 2, so I just step the back foot in a little bit. Pull the belly back and start to shift your weight forward. Pressing into the left leg, reaching the right leg up, keeping the chest open. Maybe diving in a little deeper. And then lightly step your foot back, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down, and step back, down dog. Bring your knees to the ground. And we'll just work on a camel variation to work on that big heart opening aspect of courage. Bring your hands to your low back. Fingers can either point up to lift the front ribs up, or they can point down to like lengthen the tailbone. So either way, we want to keep space here in the low back. Hug the elbows in, lift the heart up, and our back bends are more of a heart lifter and opener rather than just going back into the back bend. So think lift to the sky, and then maybe reach back. See if you can find your heel, or you could keep your hands where they are. Keep a little bit of a forward tuck with your chin, so you wouldn't want to throw your head back all the way. You want some kind of forward tuck. And inhale back up. Tuck your toes. We're just going to do one camel pose for now. Stretch your arms long, rest your forehead. And then inhale, round up. We'll do some cat-cows. So usually I do that at the beginning, but it's going to be nice to do it near the end too. So as you inhale, arc your heart forward. As you exhale, push into the floor, rounding your spine. Inhale, heart stretches forward, opens up, shoulders back. Exhale, pull the belly in and round. And go back and forth a couple more times, following your breath, following your heart. Making those little minor adjustments, whatever it is that you might need to do. Tuck your toes, stretch all the way back to down dog. And come up onto your tippy toes, walk your feet forward. And we'll come into a squat, malasana. So if it's easier for you to come into a squat, you can start working your feet in a little closer to each other. If a squat is difficult for you, you can bring your feet further apart and turn the toes outward a little bit. So just sitting with your squat can help to open your hips, open tight Achilles tendon, open the calves, open the shoulders. So trying to keep the shoulders back, not hunching in like this, but shoulders back. So I'm pressing my elbows into my knees, hugging my knees into my elbows to create some tension, to create height. And lower your hips to the floor. And we'll make our way onto our backs. Hug your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side. Open your arms out to the side. Let the shoulders and the back rest flat on the floor. You can keep your legs together, or you can always place a block between your knees. Take a big inhale, and then your exhale, twist over to your right. Turn your head to the left. Let everything relax here. So you can kind of wrap the shoulders underneath you. You could shift a little bit to your right if you wanted to. Just notice how you're feeling. Like every good warrior needs to rest. You need to take it easy, take time to replenish. Inhale the knees back up. And you might want to center your hips a little bit. And exhale, twist over to your left. Head turns to the right. Shoulders relaxed. And let go of any effort to do anything other than be present in this moment. Inhale back up. Hug your knees into your chest and come into happy baby. Just gently rock the hips from side to side. You could spend more time on these kind of relaxing, winding down poses. Release your feet, bring your feet as wide as the mat. Open your arms out to the side or overhead. And slowly begin to windshield wiper or stretch your knees from side to side. No hurry here. Going more for a feeling of the sensation than repetitions. And also noticing your tendency. Is your tendency always to move quickly? And can you slow it down? And what happens when you slow it down? Do you notice more? We'll just do one more time each side for now. And then come back to center, hug your knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze and stretch everything out for Savasana. So take time to maybe lift your shoulders, creating a little more space in your spine. Let the whole back of the shoulders rest on the floor. Palms facing up. Your palms could be down a little ways out from your side, or they could be in a T shape or a cactus shape. Ideally, your ribs are on the floor, so let these front ribs continue to soften down. And come back to your breath. Or maybe you were with your breath the whole time, so it's easy to forget the breath or to forget it consciously. So again, notice the breath and the nice, soft, gentle fullness of the inhale and the exhale. And just tell yourself to let go, to relax. And sometimes it takes courage to let go. It takes courage to take the time to relax and not feel like we always have to be running, doing, making sure we're keeping up with our competition or with the expectations of others or our expectations of ourselves. And this is a time to relax and let go. It's a very important time, so I'm just going to spend a little bit of time in Savasana with you. But ideally, you would spend a little more time on your own staying in this corpse pose. It's kind of interesting that Savasana, corpse pose, it's like it represents our death. Do we have the courage to accept our death whenever that time comes? So take as much time as you want here in Savasana. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll be putting out lots of new videos. And again, I would love to hear your comments, any suggestions for anything you would like me to make a video about or include in a video. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.